Hi, my name is Carole Kiamah, and I'm a pastor with the River of God Church, which is a Kenya Assemblies of God congregation. I gave my life to Christ when I was 13 years old, and one of the earliest memories I have of obeying God and the cost of obeying God was letting go of my first boyfriend. I think I was like 13 years old, and that wasn't easy. I know many people think, gosh, you were only 13, what did you know about love? But then at 13, that was all I knew about love. And the fact that we didn't share the same faith and I had to make that decision, that was the first time it hit me that obeying God comes with a cost. I think the second most significant time when it cost me to obey the Lord was when I chose to leave my corporate job to take care of the children. I felt the Lord speak to me clearly that I needed to be the first influence for my own children, and at that time, with the kind of job that I had, that wasn't going to be easy. And so I made the leap, and for the next 10 years, I took care of the kids. And then I thought I was done. And so I went back to work, and then voila, I got pregnant. And then now there was that whole, having to decide, do I do this again? Lord, what are you telling me? But I think at that time in my life, God was calling me. Slowly, I think He had started early calling me into ministry. And I didn't want to become a pastor. The main reason why I didn't want to be a pastor is because I didn't want to be poor. And honestly, at that time, I did not know of any pastor that was not struggling, at least financially. But God has a way. And if maybe you're watching and you're wondering, is it worth it? And I can tell you for sure, it's worth to serve the Lord. And I have seen the Lord enable me to do stuff that I never ever thought that I would be able to accomplish. Currently, I work as a pastor. And during the time of COVID, if you can all remember, churches were closed. And that was a time that was difficult. As ministers, we didn't know how to reach out to people, how we could impact our congregations with the gospel. We didn't know if there was ever going to be a congregation. We didn't know if it would be poor, So many things that would have shaken our foundations. And so during this time, I also got COVID. And I lost a couple of friends to COVID. And one of the things that God was talking to me, or rather my conversation with God as a reality that my time here could be over, one of the things that we talked about is what is it that I felt I could have done that I never got to do. And there were 3 specific things. And of the 3 of them, one of it was the ability to share the gospel in a bigger space. And so I started a chronicle. At first, it was supposed to just be like a blog. Then it became a podcast. And then it grew. And that is Thoughts of a Shaken Pastor. And if there's one thing that I'm so grateful to God for, is to giving me that opportunity to tell positive stories of what God continues to do in the lives of men and women that are totally sold out to the gospel of Jesus Christ. And one of the things that I hope to achieve before I go to meet the Lord is to just make people know that God can save you and keep you and sustain you, and that your life can make a difference. No matter what you think of yourself, no matter how small your contribution looks like, God can make a difference if you just surrender. But it has to come from a place of total obedience and wanting and desiring Jesus above all else. And so we'll talk a little bit more about this at the conference. See you. God bless you.